Welcome to Underkill TV, here at the Steelhouse Festival, joined by someone who needs no introduction whatsoever, the one and only Ricky Warwick. Always a pleasure to see you.
Oh yeah, you alright?
I'm great, yeah. Good to see you.
Good to be here again.
Twice in 2 years, huh?
Twice in 2 years. At least it's not raining this time, you know. It was pretty miserable last year when it was terrible. Yeah.
There's no place like it when the weather's like this, is it, up on the mountain?
No, I mean, it's as you know yourself, it's such a wonderfully run festival. Last year was difficult for everybody. I mean, you know, at least we have a dressing room we can go to. You know, everybody that sort of stood there till the bitter end. I mean, I completely tip my hat to them. I mean, they were wonderful. It was atrocious, but you know, most people stayed to the end, and it's a testimony to their love of music and for sticking it out. And we had a great time. We still enjoyed it, you know.
And again, it's been flat out for you. You've been making another Black Star Riders album. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we recorded it in February of this year in Los Angeles. Obviously, it's the first record we've made with the new lineup. So that was a big change there. We used different producer, different studio, 2 new guys. So it was quite a lot of changes going on behind the scenes. But a very enjoyable experience. Probably, if I'm being brutally honest, and I think it's the most fun I've ever had making an album in 30 years of making records. The vibe was fantastic. The studio was amazing. Working with Jay Rustin, the whole thing was a lot of fun. There's just a cohesion about the band at the minute that, with no disrespect to Jimmy or Damon, I think is even better than we ever had before. And Chad and Christian are so chilled and positive. It just kind of radiates around the whole band. And, we're in a good place with Black Star Riders at the minute, and long may it continue.
Absolutely. That was one thing I was going to ask. How was the songwriting process? Because you had a great partnership with Damon. I mean, how was that? Did you find it a challenge, or did it just seem to flow?
No, I mean, listen, I did. And Damon is a wonderful human being, an amazing guitar player and a great songwriter. But I don't really need to write with anybody. You know, I've written a lot of songs on my own, you know, and I'm not being facetious by saying that. I mean, I'm a songwriter, and that's what I've done for 30 years, and I like being in that situation with other writers where I can go, hey, I've got this, what do you think of that? And that's what I did with Damon. I would write a lot of the guitar riffs and get it so far, give it to Damon, he'd put the sparkle on it and go, hey, why don't you try that? So this time around that didn't really change a great deal. I just went to Christian, who's again a great songwriter, and just said, here's where I'm at with this song. I went up to his place up in Oregon, and we worked on some demos together. This record, there's about 4 songs that I did write on my own. Wow. Because I just was like, yeah. I hear them finished, I hear where they want to go. I took them into the guys, and the guys really loved them, so amazing. We ended up cutting them. And then, you know, Scott's brought in a couple of killer songs. Scott brought in a song called Underneath the Afterglow right at the 11th hour that he the finished demo of music, and he handed it to me, and I was like, oh, great, we're starting recording tomorrow, thanks, Scott. And I listened to it, and it was amazing. Wow. So I stayed in that night and wrote lyrics for it, right. And so that's made the record. And Robbie's brought in a couple of really cool ideas as well. Yeah. And Chad, we sent Chad the demos, and he really did his homework, and just, you know, a lot of the drums and bass on the record are 1 or 2 takes. It's that good, you know. So.
I mean, as you say, from the last album, and you know, I've heard you talking about it as well. You're excited that this is possibly the best offering Black Star Riders has had.
Yeah, I think everything's aligned, and you know, things weren't great with Jimmy, and then it became clear that, you know, Damon wandered away, not in a bad way, but Damon, being the great guy that he is, you know, gave us plenty of warning. You know, it wasn't like, I'm leaving the band and he left next week. He was like, guys, I want to leave, I want to do other things, but I will stay until you get something sorted out. And that's what he did. You know, he gave us plenty of time. We'd known for sort of 10 months before he left that he was leaving. So we'd plenty of time to go, okay, what are we going to do? What we need to get? So, you know, we were ready, you know, to move on.
And this must be great to come out and do the Lizzie shows. And, you know, it's a break from Black Star Riders, a break from your solo. Yeah. And it's fun. I expect it's a lot of fun, is it?
I mean, what an amazing break, you know. It's just insane when the idea was kind of talked about at the beginning of the year, because it's 40 years from Black Rose. Yeah. It was a no-brainer. I mean, it's my favourite Lizzie album. Yeah. And I just thought, you know, it's never been done before. Obviously with Scott and everything, you know, he was just like, when do we start, you know?
Yeah.
So we had the 4 shows that have come in that we're doing, and it's going to be amazing.
And one thing I wanted to touch base with you on, a lot of the viewers probably don't know this. I'm going back probably about 13, 14 years ago when you first come down to West Wales to play acoustically.
Yeah,
I picked you up, and the one thing I had on the car, in the cassettes back then, was Thin Lizzy, and I said, I've only got a few cassettes, and you were like, put that on. I love Thin Lizzy.
Right?
Yeah, I love Thin Lizzy. I love Thin Lizzy. Well, it was Simon and Rayleigh drove the car, and he said, and I was like, you like Thin? I love them. Yeah. And of course, then the Almighty reunion shows.
We did the Cowboy song.
You've done the Cowboy song, and it's just testament how much you're a massive fan of the band.
Yeah, no, always have been. You know, ever since my sister gave me a Black Rose when I was 12 years old, and it was a defining moment. I played the album to death,
Right,
and it still is my go-to. I mean, I love all of Lizzy albums, but that's the one that I probably go to the most. I just love the songs on it. I love the edginess because obviously, you know, punk rock was really happening, and Phil, being the complete cool guy that he is, was obviously very in touch with what was going on. And a song like Toughest Street in Town or Get Out of Here has that real edgy punk vibe to it, you know. Just shows that Phil loved all kinds of music, and you know, he brought that out in his songwriting. So that suits me, you know, to get up there and sing those amazing songs.
Excellent stuff. And one thing I wanted to ask, I was busy with Black Star, right? Is there any chance of any solo material? Have you found time for that, to fit that in?
Yeah, the solo record's done.
Never.
Yeah, it's recorded, finished.
Just sitting on it now.
Just sitting on it now till Black Star Riders are have done, you know, to see how well the record does and how much we tour. I mean, we're obviously going to be busy pretty much up until the end of next year. So I can't see the solo record seeing the light of day until 2021, which sounds a long way away. But I did it with Keith Nelson, who used to be in Buckcherry. So Keith, I co-wrote it with Keith, and Keith produced it. I had Xavier that used to play drums in Buckcherry, played drums on it, and I had Robbie Crane playing bass on it. It's a full band record. It's very loud, full-on rock and roll record. It's going to be coming out on Nuclear Blast label.
Bit of a step away from your previous solo stuff then, isn't it?
It is. It's a little bit more stripped down, a bit more sort of, you know, Johnny Thunders, Iggy Pop kind of vibe, yeah. You know, because I mean, Patsy Cline was such a great record, and a great record to make and a great record to write with my friend Sam Robinson. And obviously we wrote it all about Northern Ireland, but I don't want to be where I'm getting to the point where, okay, people are going, all right, Ricky, we get it, you're from Belfast, you know, could you sing about something else for a change? So I felt I had to on this record. So I wrote the title track with Sam. The album's called When Life Was Fast and Hard, and When Life Was Hard and Fast. I can't get the album title right. I tell you so much. I know. So and it's a great song. It's a really great song, and so that's the title track. And I think Sam's actually going to do the artwork for the album as well.
Wow.
But all the rest I co-wrote with Keith, and then there's one I just wrote on my own, and there's one cover version on there as well. So I'm really excited about it. I mean, it sounds great. Keith did a great job in the production. So, but you know, like I said, Black Star Riders is the priority, rightly so. So we'll put it out when we can, you know. So.
Well, Ricky, and I do appreciate your time. I know you've got a lot of media to do and to deal with everything. It's always a pleasure to chat to you, and we hope to catch up with you when you tour with Black Star Riders and possibly following on with some solo work.
Anytime, Alistair, you've always been there from the start. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. This is Alistair for Underkill TV signing out with the one and only Ricky Warwick. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Got a 3-mile smile across my face, and I'll tell you why.